Zamfara State APC calls on Governor Bello Matawalle to pay more attention to the restoration of peace in the state. Family sponsors surgeries of 31 eye patients in Sokoto State. JAMB tells candidates not to register at blacklist centers. On business, the federal government is currently proposing on what to do with the 2 trillion naira pension fund. On sport, Real Madrid beat Atlético Madrid to stay top on the lock. And on the international scene, US Speaker describes Trump's travel ban on Nigeria and others as callous. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I'm Samira Ibrahim. Now the news in full. The Zamfara State chapter of the opposition party, All Progressives Congress APC, has called on Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalle to pay more attention to the fight against banditry, kidnapping and cattle rustling in the state. This was made known by the state chairman of the party, Alhaji Lawali M. Liman, while reacting to reports on social media that the meeting held by former Governor Abdulaziz Yari last weekend was aimed to conceive plans to disrupt the peace in the state. The chairman explained that the meeting held last Saturday was organized to assess the popularity of the party, as well as to discuss identified problems and solutions, among which were the illegal arrest of people and demolition of legitimate houses belonging to innocent members of the opposition party in the state. Alhaji Lawal M. Liman said members of the party are law-abiding citizens whose common hope was to assist in efforts to restore peace and tranquility in Zamfara State, as embarked upon by all well-meaning governments, including the current administration of Governor Bello Matawalle, organizations, groups or individuals in that regard. The chairman said as indigents of Zamfara State, they were surrounded by thousands of directly linked descendants across the 14 local government areas of the state, and their main concern was to make the lives of good people of the state better than anywhere else. He expressed concern over the alleged plan by the state government to arrest and destroy houses of popular members of the APC in the state, including a 73-year-old family house of the 2019 APC gubernatorial candidate Mukhtar Shehu Idris. Meanwhile, former Governor Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State has advised members of the All Progressives Congress APC to remain united and shun any acts of discrimination and differences among party members in the state. He spoke in Talata Mafara, Zamfara, when some members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) from Maradi local government area of the state defected to APC. Receiving the defecting party members during the state APC stakeholders meeting, Yari thanked them for joining the party, describing their actions as an encouragement for the struggle to keep the APC alive in the state. Although APC is the strongest political party in the state, we consider this development as additional strength to our great party. He enjoined them to work towards the development of the party in the state. Earlier, the leader of the defecting party members, Alhaji Bala Muhammad, said that they defected to APC with Alhaji Aminu Jaji, who was their mentor and a former APC governorship aspirant in the state. Alhaji Bala Muhammad said they joined the APC considering various developmental projects executed in their hometown, Maradun, during former Governor Abdulaziz Yari's administration in the state. The state chairman of the APC, Alhaji Lawal Liman, recalled the recent reconciliation move with some aggrieved members and the defection of the former PDP governorship aspirant, Alhaji Ibrahim Shehu Bakawi, to the party as a good development. Alhaji Liman Dankaura called on members of the party in the state to be law-abiding and to always encourage party leadership to sustain peace and unity in the party. The Balarabe Garanyo family, based in Galadanchi area of Sokoto metropolis, at the weekend sponsored the successful surgical operations of 31 persons suffering from cataract out of the 45 eye patients earlier screened for the exercise. The successful exercise was conducted by a specialist medical team of ophthalmologists and other related professionals at the Specialist Hospital Sokoto. All the benefiting patients were also admitted at the surgical wards of the hospital for further observation and free treatment, while they will be discharged when they fully recuperated. The spokesman of the family, Alhaji Halilu Balarabe, explained that the team will see the remaining 14 patients on Monday and later communicate accordingly through the lead consultant for the next line of action. According to him, the gesture was in the furtherance of the family's undying resolve and commitment to alleviate the suffering of the less privileged persons in the society. Alhaji Balarabe added that the free surgical operations were in fulfillment of the promise made by the family during the free medical outreach conducted about a month ago, when no fewer than 500 persons suffering from various eye ailments were successfully treated. He further explained that they were also provided with free drugs, glasses, and other assorted medicaments. Alhaji Balarabe further reiterated that the free medical outreach was aimed at alleviating the health challenges of the numerous residents in the area and other adjoining communities. The common ailments found at the earlier exercise included conjunctivitis and cataract, mostly caused by aging, as well as congenital reasons, among others. A cross-section of the beneficiaries commended the family for the gesture and urged other privileged members in the society to routinely sponsor such free medical outreaches. Governor Aminu Bello Masari of Katsina State on Saturday ordered immediate dissolution of chairman and members of the state boards and parastatals whose appointments were not on the new tenure system. A press release signed by the Secretary to the State Government, SSG Mustafa Muhammad Inuwa, stated that the decision by the government is as a result of the aspiration of the first dispensation of the administration. He further maintained that their dissolution will pave way for the reconstitution of the board of parastatals and inject fresh hands in line with the next level agenda of the present administration. In another development, the state government on Sunday expressed optimism that the current security challenges facing the state will soon be history and that Katsina State will emerge as a model in community-based security approach in tackling insecurity. The special advisor to the governor on security matters, Ibrahim Ahmed Katsina, told newsmen on Sunday that the need for synergy for community networking on security was discussed at the security meeting with chairmen of the 8 frontline local government areas hit by banditry and kidnapping in the state. He said security is all about networking, and when you network the community, you get the best results, adding that the administration had given the security agencies the template to go and discuss with the communities on how best they will deal with the security situation in the state. He assured that the initiative was put in place to make Katsina a role model, adding that the commissioner has given his words and the chairmen have given their words, and they are going to continue finding lasting solutions to the insecurity. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) on Friday called on candidates who registered for the 2020 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) in some recently blacklisted centers that there is nothing to worry about. The board's head, Media and Information, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, who made the call in an interview with News Agency of Nigeria on Friday, said that there was no need for the candidates to panic or consider going for another registration, as this will automatically disqualify them from participating in the board's forthcoming examination. JAMB announced recently that it had blacklisted 41 centers out of 692 accredited so far for the exercise nationwide over issues bordering on registration, cybercrime, extortion, and technical deficiency. The head of media of the organization called on all candidates who registered in all these affected centers not to panic or start considering going for another registration elsewhere. He said this will amount a double registration, and with this, they stand automatically disqualified for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. Mr. Fabian said their biometric will indicate this on the day of the examination and advised not to panic, as the security agents are already verifying the culpability of all those involved, and at the appropriate time they will do the needful. President Muhammadu Buhari condoles with government and people of Anambra State over the death of former vice chairman of the National Democratic Coalition and prolific writer Dr. Arthur Aguncha Nwankwo, noting that the labor and sacrifices of the nationalists will always be remembered as posterity. The president commiserated with family, friends, professional and political associates of Dr. Nwankwo, urging them to find solace in the contributions of the writer to national and global development by consistently pursuing and projecting values of peace, unity and love. President Buhari affirmed that the late writer's bridge-building efforts, like supporting the famous handshake across the Niger and carefully picking the themes of his many publications to reflect national unity while advocating for the collective version, had served the purpose. The president believes Dr. Nwankwo's investment in humanity will endure, especially standing for democracy and development at great risk, and working hard to ensure that the pivotal institutions are strengthened and sustained. President Muhammadu Buhari prays that the Almighty God will receive the soul of the departed statesman and comfort his family. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. On Business, Fauzia has more details.
Audio Jungle. Hello there, welcome to Business News. I'm Fauzia Ibrahim. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Zainab Ahmed, on Friday dispelled the reports that the federal government was planning to borrow 2 trillion pension fund for infrastructure development. Dr. Ahmed stated this in Lagos at the Udo Odoma and Bello Oshagi Second Private Equity Summit with the theme Drivers, Disruptors and Unlocking Value. She said government was not borrowing the fund for infrastructure development. Dr. Ahmed said the National Economic Council set up a committee for itself to explore the possibilities of being able to encourage the pension fund managers to invest in infrastructure development. She said it's not that the government is borrowing the pension fund, but agreed to design a product that pension fund managers will find attractive enough to invest in, that will give them free safe returns. She said regulator PENCOM actually allows pension fund managers to invest up to 20% of their money in infrastructure. According to Zainab Ahmed, investment in infrastructure was not moving because it was easier for them to invest in treasury bills and federal government bonds. She said with returns on T-bills not good, they were looking for long-term instruments they would invest in. Dr. Ahmed said that now pension fund managers don't have an opportunity to invest in open market operations anymore. Still on the business news, automobile importers and the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry have kicked against the proposed increase in import tariff for new and used vehicles. The National Automotive Design and Development Council on Tuesday proposed higher import tariffs of 100% on fully built new vehicles and 125% on used cars, whose current rates are 70%. The Director of Policy and Planning at the NADDC, Mr. Farouk Umar, said in Abuja at the stakeholders review on draft automotive policy and Nigeria's automotive industry development plan that was part of the proposed amendments to the National Automotive Policy. But speaking in an exclusive interview with a correspondent, the Director General LCCI, Dr. Muda Yusuf, described the proposal as unrealistic. He said the vehicle tariff increase is not a realistic proposition. The automotive policy in its present form has done incalculable damage to the transport sector. Dr. Muda Yusuf said the whole idea of the auto policy needs a complete rethink. Some vehicles importers also experienced doubt about such proposed working in Nigeria. A car importer, Fanu Lasisi, said the tariff of 100% on new car was too high. He said it is not nice to expect somebody who bought a car for 20 million to pay 20 million as import duty for the car. The tariff should be as low as 10% to encourage buyers. Mr. Fanu said this was the method deployed in Ghana to discourage purchase of used cars. He also noted that the government of Ghana had put infrastructure in place to allow people to buy new cars and keep them in good condition. That's all I have on business updates. Do have a nice day.
Thank you, Fauzia. On spot, Abu Sufyan has more details.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Standard Voice Television Sports Room. My name is Abu Sufyan Abakar, and as usual, I bring the sports updates. In the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid defeats city rivals to retain their position on the top of the La Liga log. The match started in a boring fashion, with both teams struggling to find rhythm throughout the game. It was until mid into the second half that Karim Benzema converted a crossing from Mendy to score the lone goal of the game. This is the third meeting between the two sides so far this season, with Madrid unbeaten in all the 3 fixtures. And currently, Real Madrid are on a 21-match unbeaten streak. In another La Liga game played, Barcelona defeated Levante 2-1, with Ansu Fati scoring both goals for Barcelona FC, who are now second on the La Liga log. And in the English Premier League, league leaders Liverpool defeated Southampton 4-0 at Anfield, with Mohamed Salah scoring 2 goals, Jordan Henderson scoring 1, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, the former Southampton midfielder, scoring the other goal. Manchester City lost away to Tottenham Hotspur thanks to a Belgian goal and Son Heung-min's goal. Manchester United played a 0-0 draw with Wolverhampton Wanderers, while Chelsea played a 2-2 draw with Iheanacho's Leicester City. Arsenal played a death draw with Burnley at the Turf Moor Stadium. And in the Serie A, Cristiano Ronaldo scored 2 penalties to help Juventus defeat Fiorentina 3-1, while Ibrahimovic's side, AC Milan, played a 1-1 draw with Hellas Verona, but the Swedish striker wasn't in the match squad. Inter Milan defeated Udinese with 2-0, all goals scored by former Manchester United striker Romelu Lukaku. And the Bundesliga, Braut Haaland of Borussia Dortmund continued his scoring streak with 2 goals in a 5-0 demolition over Union Berlin. This is his 7th goal in just 30 appearances for Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich defeated Mainz 3-1. And in Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, defeated Montpellier 5-1. And that's all we have on sports today. Back to the newsroom.
Thank you, Sufyan. And on the international scene. U.S. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has described as callous President Trump's addition of Myanmar, Kyrgyzstan, Nigeria, Tanzania and Sudan to the travel ban. Nancy, a Democrat, focused on strengthening America's middle class and creating jobs, said that the travel ban will threaten the U.S. security, values and rule of law. She assured of establishing No Ban Act that will prohibit religious discrimination of America's immigration system and limit Trump's ability to impose what she described as biased and bigoted restrictions. The speaker explained that the Trump administration's expansion of its outrageous un-American travel ban threatens American security, values and the rule of law. He said the sweeping rule, barring more than 350 million individuals from predominantly African nations from traveling to the United States, is discrimination disguised as policy. America's strength has always been as a beacon of hope and opportunity for people around the world, whose dreams and aspirations have enriched the nation and made America more American. She noted that with this latest callous decision, the president has doubled down on his cruelty and further undermine the global leadership, constitution and the proud heritage as a nation of immigrants. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara State APC calls on Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalli to pay more attention to the restoration of peace in the state. Family sponsors surgeries of 31 eye patients in Sokoto State. JAMB tells candidates not to register at blacklist centers. On business, the federal government is currently proposing on what to do with the 2 trillion naira pension fund. On sport, Real Madrid beat Atlético Madrid to stay top on the log. And on the international scene, US Speaker described Trump's travel ban on Nigeria and others as callous. That has been the news. On behalf of the production crew and head of news and current affairs, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant time. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.